This is a bar that I'm working on, and as you can see, the front trim is pretty much intact except for this part, which looks like it was broken off by something. And then the sides look like it was chewed by a dog or something. So I'm going to have to fix the trim before I can start working on this bar. So I'm just going to show you an easy way to fix pieces, fix parts of furniture like this when there's some kind of damage to it. It doesn't have to be super complicated. So what I'm doing is I am going to make a mold out of hot glue. It's just what I have at hand. You can use a molding kit or anything else, whatever you like to use to make a mold. So I'm going to do a mold on this side of the trim where it is perfect. I'm just going to spray some WD-40 on it so that the hot glue comes off fairly easily. Great. So, okay. Sorry, I had to stretch my glue gun cord a little bit. Alright, so I have my hot glue gun. I recommend using one of the larger size ones and not the miniature size ones because it's going to be more difficult to make a mold, an even mold, with one of the smaller ones. So I'm just going to cover this with hot glue, as you can see. And I'm just going to work kind of quickly too. Kind of messy, but it works. So I'm just kind of like smearing it on. I want to make sure every inch is covered evenly. If it's not even, then it won't work. So. So I'm just getting the bottom parts of this mold. So I was just checking to make sure that I covered the bottom evenly too while I was doing it, because you want to make sure you have every surface area of the trim covered with the hot glue. And I'm going to just let this harden up. It's not the prettiest looking mold by any means, but it works. So I'm just gonna let this harden, and as it hardens, it's going to get cloudier and look less opaque. So so my hot glue mold has dried, or hardened I should say. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to use bondo to repair this trim area right here using this mold. So I'm basically going to fit this mold over this area after I apply the bondo inside, and then it's going to harden within a few minutes, and this trim is going to look like new, hopefully. So I like to use bondo because it's super durable, and you know, in case this area gets banged up in the future, the bondo will hopefully hold up a lot better than wood filler does. And the stuff really smells, so make sure you use it in a well ventilated area. So the bondo has a hardener that it comes with, and basically you just mix it in 2 parts. So this cream hardener you mix with the bondo putty. Right. So it's just like depending on how much you use and the hardener, you just add it like that, a bit of the hardener into the bondo putty, and it'll tell you the measurements on the bondo can. I kind of just eyeball it, and then you just want to mix it very thoroughly so that it hardens completely in every area. So I'm just mixing this up right now, you know, making sure that all of it is this reddish color and there's no gray areas in here. Okay, so it hardens pretty quickly, so you want to work kind of fast with it. I'm going to spray a little bit of WD-40 into my mold so that the bondo comes out clean. All right, so right now I'm going to put this filler in to my mold right here. And I'm going to put most of it in the, this area right here where the trim is missing, and a little bit in this area at the end where it's a little bit banged up as well. So most of it on the edge right here. So I'm just going to put this over the trim right here like this and press down on it right here. All right. Oops. So, okay, I'm gonna have to take this quickly. It's sliding off. Okay. I'm going to take this over this. Just hold it in place. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to try to get the excess bondo off as much as I can. Anyways, and it really does harden pretty fast if you've mixed it correctly. All right, so I'm just going to let this set until it hardens completely, and then I'm going to pull the hot glue mold off of it. So the bondo has dried, so I'm going to take it off. The mold off, I mean. So just pry this guy off. And so you can see it's created this nice curve. And I'm going to go ahead and sand it smooth. So grabbing a bit of sandpaper. So that looks pretty good. And I will be painting over this, so you know, only the outline is what I'm worried about. So there's like a few little gaps right here where I didn't put enough bondo, but I can go ahead and just patch it up a little bit with some wood putty, just to fill in the little holes here. And then this corner I still need to work on, so I'm gonna put some more bondo and go ahead and do that like this to get this edge nice and clean. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix up a little bit more bondo. So I only need like a tiny amount. I'm not gonna do too much here of this. Great. So that amount is actually probably good enough. I hate wasting stuff, so it's, I'd rather have it measured properly than waste a whole bunch of product. So here's the hardener, and this will only require like a tiny bit. So, see, I'm mixing it. I'm gonna add a tiny drop more. So, I want to make sure I make this the correct ratio. So it just should be this light red in color. All right, like that. I'm gonna take this WD-40 and spray a little bit again and get my tape ready because it slid a little bit last time, so I want to avoid that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the corner of this mold. Make sure I get enough on there. Whoops. So, like that. Okay. So I just want to smear it on correctly. I'm actually going to add some of this bondo into the little holes that I missed before. Okay. Go ahead and put this on. All right, and just tape this in place so that it holds. Oh, did not tape it very well. It slides around a bit, as you can see. So, tape is not working with me. It doesn't want to work with me anyways. Okay. So I was just kind of pressing it as it hardened a bit to make sure that it gets around here in a curved shape, because I want the edge to look perfect. So again, I'm going to let it harden for 10-15 minutes, and then I'm going to pull off the mold and sand it down so it's nice and clean. So here is the trim. That I created. So not too bad. So it's nice and smooth, and the edge is really, it's very hard, and it won't chip, hopefully, unless it goes through a lot of banging. But you know, once I paint it, hopefully you won't be able to even see a difference at all. And then here's the part that was chipped a bit. So all fixed now.